No, you need to stay in the
All right, so welcome to our recipe night / cooking show live. I'm gonna go into like a real show mode, even though my audience is all consultants for the evening. So I'll do a little kind of overview before we jump into the real show thing. So you guys tonight are gonna act like your guests, not like your consultants.
So talk and don't listen to me.
Right, no, you have to listen. That's the only good one, Erin. Yeah. So you're gonna listen and you know, you're not gonna like interject your ideas until the end. Okay, so first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say thank you guys for coming to Mia's Pampered Chef party. I'm handing out a few things for you all to look at. My name is Tiffany. So anything you need, I answer to hey you too, but my name is right here on my apron and it is right there on the catalog for you. I definitely suggest keeping the catalog. It is like my business card, so don't feel like you have to give it back to me at the end of the night. You can circle anything you want in it. There's lots of recipes and ideas in there too. Also on the front of your catalog is this little roundup from the heart sticker. That's our reminder for when we do your checkout that we're going to round all the orders to the next whole dollar, and that little bit of change goes back to the food bank here in Norfolk because it's all zip code driven. And then also it helps it if you're on the Hide It from Hubby plan and you do a part in a card and part in cash, that we are not chasing pennies. We're rounding up to whole numbers. Okay. So side note, what is in your catalog besides the order form is what I normally give consultant or give everybody at the show. What you guys have is a kitchen observation guide. So like if you've ever come to a show with me before, I've given you that out. And then also there's a skill and will handout that we're going to do. If you haven't already done it for Director Bound, you're going to do it for tonight for us to do with the second half of the training. So that's why I just put them all in there together. So at this point, I would then say you also have a wish list in your catalog. With your wish list, I want you to treat it like money is no object. I want you to write down everything that would make your heart happy, everything that would help you in your kitchen. I also left you space to think about gift giving because we are approaching wedding season and Valentine's Day and all Mother's Day is not too far away. So think about other people that you can give that to. It also has a really nice cheat sheet on the back of everything alphabetically so that if you need to find something that I spoke really fast about, you can find it right there on the back without having to be like, hey, what's that page number? So we will eventually turn your wish list into your order form, but I don't want you to be scared to write on it. I want you to fill it up all the way down, okay? So I do want to thank Mia for having us all here today. My favorite 4-letter F word is free, so I tend to give out lots of freebies at my show. And our first freebie is, oh, let me grab it, I forgot, is one of, this is what I would do at a show too, let's walk right out of the room, is our recipe to, I'm sorry, our newest season's best. So those of you who have been around Pampered Chef for a while know that every 6 months when the catalog changes, so does our season's best recipe collection. So a couple years ago, they added color. So every recipe shows you what it's supposed to look like. So if you see me post on Facebook, then I got it right. If I didn't, we ate it anyway. And so what I'm going to have you all do is to write Mia a little thank you note here on the inside cover, and then at the end of the night, we're going to give this to her for her to remember everybody who loved on her tonight at her show. So Mia is a repeat hostess, so she has 2 or 3 of these from her other shows in the past, and she likes to collect them. So we'll pass this around. So this is where I would give it to you to pass around while I take the cat off the counter. Okay, so we are going to go over the catalog real quick, and then I know your ADD will kick in about 20 minutes, and then you're not going to hear another word I say anyway. And we're actually going to put the recipe together as a group. I've broken the recipe down into 3 sections. So we'll go over that as we get ready to break up, but you're going to be able to get your hands on some of these products so you can really feel them and see what your heart desires, because you'll probably change your mind once you start playing with things. So let's go ahead and jump in to pages 4 and 5. That is where our rock star product of the new season is featured, and you may see that it is featured right here on the center of the island. This is our quick cooker. This is Pampered Chef's version of a pressure cooker. So we're actually going to be using this tonight to make a really quick 4-minute mac and cheese. And if you look on this page here, I can tell you we have made the cheesecake, we have made the ribs, I've done the hard-boiled eggs, I've done veggies, I've done rice, and it has all these great settings right there. It also comes with a cooking guide so that when you get it, it has a recipe for every single setting that is on here on the cooker, so that you'll have an idea of what to make with each setting. Also, not only does it have all the settings names right here, it also functions, you can custom set it for the pressure and for the time, and then it also functions as a slow cooker. So those are 2 additional functions besides what you see here on the dial. So when we get it going, I'll go over some of the safety features that are in action, but with ours, I'll honestly tell you, I don't own any of the other brands that have been out on the market. I honestly thought I did not need one of these until Pampered Chef came out with one and taught me how to use it, and now I love it. So just some real quick easy things. Our handles are on the bottom so that you can move it when you need to release the steam, and then also it gets no warmer than a cup of coffee. Okay, so if a child walks by it, it's going to be okay. If somebody accidentally touches it, it'll be all right. So once it gets going, I'll show you some of the other features with it, but we are going to be using that tonight. We also have accessories that go with it. So you could just get the pressure cooker itself or get the accessories that go with it. So that's the spring fork and the ceramic bowl that goes with it as well. It does come with a little metal stand that goes in the bottom of it. That's what you see the hard-boiled eggs on, that they're raising those hard-boiled eggs. That stand does come with it. But I never ever thought in a million years I would make ribs at home. That's an out to eat thing that we do, and we made ribs in here in 35 minutes. And we had some friends over, and they were fall off the bone, restaurant quality, delicious. And we were able to feed 3 grown men and some women and some kids with 2 racks of ribs in that 35 minutes. We did the 2 racks together, just like they show. Oh, they actually don't show in this picture, but they're in the cooker like this. They're like 2 C's in there, and they're straight down, and we were able to do 2 racks at a time. So that was a really great recipe. Go ahead and flip one more. We're going to talk about cookware. I'll go ahead and get the elephant out of the way. Pampered Chef has 75% of its catalog is $30 and under. The other 25% is pretty much sitting on these 2 pages. Okay, so the pages we just looked at, and then this page. We're actually going to be using a piece of the stainless steel cookware tonight. So you'll see these in the bottom right-hand side of your page, and then the other ones are our non-stick cookware. So some great things that all the cookware has in common is they're all dishwasher safe. So if you like to be able to put your cookware in the dishwasher, when the cookware got a facelift, it made it all dishwasher safe, so great for cleanup. It's also all lifetime guarantee. So that if anything happens to it manufacturing-wise, we contact Pampered Chef, you send it back, they send you a brand new piece. And it is not refurbished, it's a brand new piece that they send to you. Some people used to, you remember if you've been around a while, had to keep all of your receipts for doing any of those returns. No longer. All you have to do is know your email address. Because everything, just like shopping at Target and Amazon, it is all saved by email. So that's really nice. That follows you no matter where you move, no matter what phone number you have. Your email address usually follows you. So, and you have the ability to change that if you need to. But I love the cookware. The handles can come off. So look in the bottom left. You're going to see all the cookware stacked up in a cabinet and see all the handles down inside. And so that makes it really easy if you have small storage. It also is great for putting in the dishwasher because you don't have to figure out where this handle goes. So that's the one thing with the stainless steel is the handle doesn't come off. And then putting it in the oven, all of our cookware is oven safe. So you can start things on the top and move it right down to the bottom to finish it off, which is a great feature. In the middle on the right-hand side there, you're going to see our grill pans. I don't like to grill unless it because in Virginia it's hot, cold, buggy, or muggy, like all in one day. So never ever are you going to catch me grilling outside. I grill it like a girl all inside with the grill pan. So I would love to do a grill show with you to show you how to do grilled chicken or grilled vegetables with it. We could do fajitas. And because I didn't bring those pans with me today, but we could definitely bring them to your house to do your show. So we, with the stainless steel, I was always very afraid of stainless steel. On our previous collection, I didn't own any. I had all the non-stick until this pan came out. So you may notice that it's stainless steel on the outside and it looks black on the inside, doesn't it? So it has this like special technology on the inside that makes it so it functions like a stainless steel pan, but with a non-stick surface. So it still has the functionality to produce fond. Does anyone know what that is? So fond is when you cook something protein-wise, like a meat, a beef, a fish, a chicken. Did I say all those? And when it cooks, little bits of pieces stick to there. And so when we're not used to that, we think that our food has stuck to the pan. But that actually is called fond because when you put something liquid in it, like wine or broth to deglaze your pan, you release those little bits. And then they become a roux. You can add your flour or your baking powder. And it becomes a roux, and then your roux becomes a gravy. So if those words are used in your everyday vocabulary, you're gonna love this pan. I learned all this from watching the cooking shows on TV. So, but I love that pan. So we're gonna do some bacon in that pan in a little bit. So let's flip 2 more and talk about stoneware. How many of you have been stoned before? Excellent, got some great stoners. Those of you who have been stoned before, what do you put on your stoneware? Everything, yes. What are some of those cookies? Pizza, bacon, fish sticks, yes. What's that, fries? Yes, I remember as a kid, I went to somebody's house and their mom baked French fries, and I was like, ew, these are gross. And so I was thinking, how am I ever gonna bake? I'm never gonna bake French fries on a stone, but oh my gosh, they crisp up. So you can do a whole thing of French fries, you can do half French fries and half chicken nuggets, put some fish sticks on there, and they crisp up just like if they had been in the deep fryer, but you don't have to worry about the whole deep fryer thing. So the 2 most popular stones are the large bar pan that you see on this one page here and the large round stone that you see here. When people start their collection with this, the whole reason I joined Pampered Chef was for this large round stone right here. This is the one I wanted. Okay, and then if you're ready to expand your stoneware collection, you've got lots of options here. But there are 2 things I want you to know about stoneware. One, what do we never ever put on stoneware? Soap. Okay, so we don't use soap. If you remember the old commercials with the ducklings and the oil and the Dawn, okay, they dropped the Dawn in the water and the oil went away. Dawn is a degreaser. Soap is a degreaser. That's the whole reason soap was invented, was to degrease. You do not put soap on here. We don't need it on here because this is going to season over time. And what happens is it's your friction of cleaning it with hot water and your elbow grease that gets your stoneware clean. If you're one of those people sitting in the audience right now that thinks, oh my God, I'm never going to use that, rest assured that the next time you put it in the oven, it's going to kill anything anyway. Okay, because we usually put our stoneware, my magic number is 350, everything starts at 350, and then I check it. Bacon, however, 420 minutes, large bar pan, perfect every time. Okay, and you don't have to get grease all over the top of your stove top if you want. Another thing I want you to know about stoneware that not everybody remembers is you need to cover 80 to 90% of your stoneware with food. Do not reheat 1 chicken nugget on this large bar pan, okay? Because you will call me and say, Tiffany, my stone broke. I heard a pop in the stove. I've also had people accidentally put their stone on the stove top and then turn the burner on and they forgot. Okay, so stoneware is not oven safe. It is only, it's not stove top safe. It is only oven safe and microwave safe. So any stone that can fit in your microwave safely, flat, not like cockeyed, is safe. So unless you have like a 15-inch inside of your microwave, you're probably going to lend more to these next ones over here. These are our glaze pieces, and wherever you see the glaze color of white, gray, or sandstone, they're not going to turn colors, okay? It's not going to season like a bare stone. It's going to stay pretty, and you can use soap and water on that glaze. I love that these bowls right here and these platters are glazed all over, so that actually does make those pieces dishwasher safe. These are our everyday soup and cereal bowls. However, my growing 14-year-old has progressed over to the serving bowl here as his serving size. So if you have something similar like that in your house, you might want that size. But has anybody ever heard of the microwave, put the whole chicken in the microwave in one of our bakers? That's this guy right here. That's the deep covered baker. Okay, so that's, you can put the whole chicken in the microwave. So a 3 or 4 pound roaster, did you guys know that the parts are more expensive than the whole thing? If you bought the whole chicken, it's cheaper. So you can put the whole chicken in there. Now, my family doesn't eat all the parts, so it doesn't behoove me to do that. But if your family will eat all the parts, buy the whole chicken, make it in the microwave yourself. I had a customer who was buying a roasted chicken from like Sam's or Kroger like 2 and 3 times a week. She was going there because that's all her youngest would eat. So finally, she bought the baker. She's like, I'll just do it myself. I'm like, that saves you a trip to the vegetable 2-year-old. So you definitely want to make sure you take that inside stuff out. But you can put potatoes or carrots or garlic or whatever, rosemary, all in there and cook it. If you need a little bit smaller version, we do have the round baker and then the mini deep baker. So those are great for smaller households or maybe empty nesters or maybe college students or bachelors who don't have to feed a whole family. They like the smaller ones. Now, stoneware is a great place to talk about warranty information. When you follow the description all the way across where you see the item number, you're going to then see the price and a number in its little circle. Now, my eyes have gotten older, so I need glasses on to see that little circle, but I do know that all the stoneware says 3 inside the circle. So that is a 3-year warranty on the stone. That is for like a manufacturer's defect. Now, if you were to accidentally throw it at your husband and you got mad, I would just say it broke in use. Okay, but stoneware is actually one of our products that you take a picture of it and email it into home office. You don't have to mail it back, which is really nice. But every single item you see in the catalog is going to have one of those little circles. So you're going to see 1s, 2s, 3s, 5s, and L's. L's are the lifetime. You're also going to see little indications of DWS. Do you want to know what that is? Dishwasher safe. Those are like the 3 best words besides I love you, right? All right, so you got those. So let's flip 2 more and let me show you what happens when stoneware gets put on steroids. And that is our rock crock collection. So with your rock crock, you still have the clay inside like you do with stoneware, but it has a magical glaze on it that makes it safe up to 752 degrees. If you're currently cooking at that temperature in your house, please at the fire department on speed dial. All right, nobody should be cooking at that temperature. But it does allow you to put the rock crock on your stovetop, in your oven, under the broiler, then in the microwave, outside on the grill, and clean the whole thing up right here in the dishwasher. So it truly is a one-pot wonder because it can do all those things. So as a reminder, you've got all those pictures right down here. And then when I thought Pampered Chef couldn't possibly think of another place to put it, they did. They thought of a stand to put it in. So you turn your rock crock into a crock pot. So that is its 7th place it can go is into the stand. So like we like to say around, you know, football season, we'll go to a party or go to watch a football game, put something yummy in the crock pot, which is our rock crock. And we have a nice little case that it carries in, and we take it with us, plug it in, and we have a nice snack. And everybody oohs and ahs over our little rock crock there. So it's also a great gift if you want to give it to someone. You know, this is a great wedding gift. I had a hostess who had a $2,000 show one time, and she used all her free to give wedding gifts. She was about to do like 4 weddings in one summer. Everybody got a rock crock set. You also save $30 when you buy it as a set because you get that stand for half price. So that's a great deal there too. And then let's go ahead and flip 2 more and talk about cutlery. We have 2 kinds of cutlery in our catalog. I usually have my chef's knife out. I don't know where I put it. But with our cutlery, there's 2 different kinds. And so the first kind is called our forged cutlery. So manufacturing wise, they take the metal and they heat it and hammer it over and over again. So if you've ever watched Game of Thrones or a Robin Hood movie or something medieval where they have made swords, that's what they're doing with our cookware, okay? They're heating and hammering it over and over into its shape. It's also a full tang knife, which means it goes all the way through. It is all one piece of metal right here. I do suggest hand washing your knives and drying them before you store them in your knife block. So we do have a knife block. You can buy these knives individually. You can buy them as part of a set with the block, which is great. When you flip one more, you're going to see our color-coded knives, and I'm going to show you the difference of the same shaped knife, but in 2 different collections. So this is the utility knife in both collections. This is the forged knife. We call this color-coated, not code like your color code, like your coated with a G. It's coated with an AT. Okay, so with this is metal. Some people think that it is nylon because of the color, but it's nice that Pampered Chef made the same 6 knives in both collections. And then with the updated collection, they used to be all green, and now each knife is a different color. So you know when you're in the drawer which knife you're grabbing belongs to which color. So these are the same knives. You'll tell that this knife is much heavier because of this full tang. This knife is a stamped knife, which means they roll the metal out, they cut the shape, they put the handle on, and you're good to go. With the forged knife, this is lifetime guarantee, and the manufacturing process is much different. So that's why you're going to see the price tag reflected as such, because of the process behind it. These are very economical knives. This is actually one of the knives you can pick as a freebie this month with a $75 order. And I love these knives just for if I need to go somewhere, like we live near the beach, so we're taking a picnic lunch somewhere, I don't mind taking one of these knives. If I left it in the sand, I would probably go back and look for it, but I left this, I'd run really fast and pick a metal detector and find it. Okay, so there's a difference in the knives there. On the next page, you're gonna see our cute little kitchen paring knives have come back. So if that is something that you love and you've had one of those forever in your kitchen, it is great because you can still get these. You can get a set of 3 for $7.50, and 3 meals are provided to the food bank. So if that is something close to your heart, that's a great deal. There's also great things to make for gifts because they come at 3 in the package and you can split them up. But with our knives too, there is a difference between honing and sharpening. Does anybody know the difference? So when it comes to honing and sharpening, I remember when we first got married, we had a knife block set. It had that long metal rod in it, and my husband would walk around sharpening it like he was so cool, right? All right, so that is actually a honing tool. That is not a sharpening tool. What the difference is, a honing tool brings a knife back into alignment. Over time, we are pampered, not perfect. We put different pressure on a knife. I live with a lefty, I'm a righty. We put different pressure on our knives, and it becomes out of alignment. when you sharpen a knife, you create a whole new blade. So what we recommend with our forge cutlery is that you sharpen your knife about every 3 to 5 years, depending on your use. You can hone after every couple of uses is fine. The little honing tool is actually on the previous page. It looks like a stapler above that rack of lamb there, and you just run your knife through it. It's a lefty or righty tool. And you can feel it kind of catch it and then kind of smooth out. And then we actually sell a sharpening tool for this knife too that also fits the professional shears, the the food chopper, and a fourth thing, manual food processor. Yes. So that's another thing. So in the previous forge cutlery collection, I had it for 10 years before they recently redid it. I only sharpened it 3 times. I took it to someone professional. His name in this area is Max the Knife, and he is at the farmer's market. Or you can contact him. He loves to come to my house for team meetings and sharpen everybody's at one time because he's in one spot and does it by the inch. So he's actually on Facebook if you want to find him and hunt him down to have him sharpen your knives. Farm Fresh used to sharpen for free, but we're dwindling down on our Farm Freshes. So you can go over to Chimney Hill if you want, or you can visit Max the Knife. He does set up by the creamery at the farmer's market, which is a nice little treat. All right, next page, we're going to talk about some slicing and dicing, which we are going to use one of these products tonight. We are going to be using, I'll find it in a second. So pretend I have my salad choppers in my hand. So we're going to be using our salad choppers tonight. I think they should be renamed chicken choppers because I use them 95% of the time for meat, whether it's chicken or pork or beef to shred it up. On here, I love the quick cut, which is in the top corner there, that you can use for multiple strawberries. You can use it for bell pepper. You can use it for a cucumber like they're showing you there, zucchini. The one thing they really don't recommend is on sweet potatoes because they're so dense, and for onions because of the layers that will slide. Also, if you're trying to eat healthy these days and cut out some carbs, the veggie spiralizer is something that you may want to look into. It makes all your veggies into either spirals or skinny noodles or fat noodles. So you've got lots of options there. And we have a whole electronic cookbook that comes with this too, so that you can have some ideas of what to do with that. We're also going to be using a couple of the microplanes on the next page. So we have 2 microplanes. We have a coarse and a fine microplane. They don't interchange. They are 2 separate tools. I get that question quite a bit. For the coarse one with the bigger holes, we are going to be using our soft cheeses. And then with the fine one with our little skinny holes, we're going to be using our hard cheese on that. So we're actually going to be doing cheddar and Colby Jack and Parmesan tonight. So we'll need both graders. So at my house, I had to get 2 of each because, you know, when I come here to do a show, and my family's left at home, they really like say a gourmet mac and cheese where they mix all the cheeses together, and they can't have cheese if I don't leave them a grater because we don't buy that stuff in a bag. Does anybody know what that white powdery substance is on your bag cheese? Sawdust. So by definition, when you look at the ingredients, it says cellulose, but if you Google that, it says sawdust or wood pulp that they're putting on your cheese. It is a preservative, and it keeps it very loose in the bag, if you've ever noticed, and then it keeps it from going bad, like it keeps the mold off of it. However, cheese loses its flavor 3 days after it's been cut, so that cheese that you're eating is pretty tasteless, and it is covered in preservative. When you grate your own cheese, and inevitably somebody who's at this station tonight that grates the cheese is going to taste it, because you just can't grate cheese and not taste it. And it melts better, it tastes better, and it goes further because block cheese is done by weight, whereas bag cheese is by volume. All right, so there are 2 different units of measure. So when you actually grate an 8-ounce block of cheese, you're going to get more than 8 ounces than what a bag would be. So you're going to get more like 12 or 16 ounces depending on the cheese. So you're going to get more. Another product that's close to my heart is Manuel. He's my boyfriend. And we can make a mean salsa out of him. He also scrambles a dozen eggs at a time for a breakfast show. I'm having a brunch show on Saturday, and so we'll use him to do our eggs. Now, I love my food chopper over here, too. This is the whole other reason I joined Pampered Chef was for that large round stone and for that food chopper. So that guy is still here, and that sharpener that I mentioned is actually at the bottom of this page right here. That sharpens all of those other tools. Now, how many of you have a magic wand at home? Everybody got one of these? Yes. So if you don't, you have to write this on your wish list right now, the mix and chop. Okay, you cannot have Taco Tuesday or Spaghetti Thursday without a mix and chop. Also, I used it this week to do hard-boiled eggs so I can make egg salad. Great for avocado to do your guacamole. I've used it to do cookies and put it gently in the cookies to make a little star pattern in sugar cookies. So it's a great tool. It's got a beveled edge. It's all nylon. It's dishwasher safe. It's not going to melt in your stovetop when you use it. And this is one, since my daughter is now 12, but ever since she was 8, I gave her the responsibility of breaking up the taco meat on the stovetop. That was always her job, was to break up taco meat, whether it was for spaghetti or for tacos or for whatever, but that was always her job. Next up, we've got some storage options on the right. You've got your glass bowls. If you're trying to get away from plastic, there's a lot of storage options there. Flip one more and you're going to see our snack bar maker. If you're trying to get away from certain ingredients that are in your snacks, my daughter's best friend is lactose intolerant, gluten-free, and has a nut allergy. So I always am scared I'm going to kill her whenever she's over. So it was nice to be able to make bars that she could eat. And actually I gave her one for her birthday when she was 11. So she thought that was the coolest thing ever. So if you like to do that kind of stuff, it's there. Also, if you like to make your own salad, because you know, if you ever gone out to eat and salad tastes so much better when somebody else does it, it's because they spin the lettuce. And we actually, our salad spinner is in here somewhere. But the lettuce is clean and dried. And then that's what we do to then assemble our salads to have them for the next day or even the next day after that. Because you want your ingredients dry before you make your salad. But my daughter also had changed her eating habits because that same little girl couldn't have peanut butter and jelly. So she would take salads to school so that she could be like her or whatever. So those are some nice make and take kind of items. Next up is your microwave collection. So even if you're the kind of person who says, well, I don't cook, Tiffany, I don't even know why I'm here for the wine. You can visit this microwave collection because I'm pretty sure you heat up food in some way, shape, or form. So unless you are drinking your calories every single night for your dinner, you probably cook something. So whether it's heating up leftovers or something. So I really love the ceramic egg cooker. It's one of my favorites. We have 2 in rotation in our house because I have a kid that eats before 7 and one that eats sometime after 7, and I don't do dishes in between. So we have 2 of these in rotation. I love just having oatmeal for lunch on a day because it stays nice and warm. So my ADD kicks in and I walk away and come back, it's still warm. Also, if you don't like to eat when you first get up, but you've got to get to work, you can make your oatmeal once you get to work, or your little egg omelet or whatever. And I got a bunch of recipes to go with this guy too. So we'll have you let me know what you need. Next couple pages is going to be baking. So if you are the Betty Crocker in the room, spend some time looking through the baking pages. We've got a donut pan, a mini fluted pan. We don't say the B word, okay? It's fluted. We have a donut pan, the waffle stick pan, the brownie pan, the regular muffins, the mini loaves, the mini pies. We've got so many options, and I've got a recipe collection for each one. So you can do things other than baked goods in these individual items. We'll skip 2 pages and go over to the kids collection because in our house, we truly believe it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, everybody needs to learn how to cook. And so also when this past Christmas, this is actually 2 Christmases ago, my nephews did not need any more toys. They needed no more Legos, no more Nerf guns. And so they got the kids' pizza set and the kids' baking set for Christmas that year. So they could start making memories in the kitchen with their mom and dad that would last them lifelong, a lot longer. I know Legos last forever, but this stuff, those lessons will last forever. We've got some 2 pages over your drinking collection. So those of you who are the wine drinkers, you've got all of your wine and champagne needs and then all your cocktail needs there. So you can take a look there if that's your forte. Next page is Grill Masters and outdoor entertaining. You'll see that Mia put out a couple of her quick stir pitchers over there with beverages in them. Those are on page 50. And I love them just for doing something simple like that, lemons and limes and water. Or you can take it a step further and make that a picture of margaritas. You can make it a picture of mimosas. I even had a customer who had twins, very small twins that had to be fed multiple times a day, 2 bottles at a time, put all her baby formula in there and then sponged it and then filled up her baby bottles. So that's a great thing that you can use with that. If you like sweet treats, you can look at the next page. How many of you as kids ever made popsicles? And how long did it take to make a popsicle? Forever. Like before they froze, you'd forget about them, right? So with our a quick-sicle maker, you can make a set of popsicles, 3 popsicles in 8 minutes. Not 8 hours, 8 minutes. And then you can make another set, and then you can make another set. So you can do 3 sets in a row. I have tried margarita. It does work. You gotta be careful with your alcohol because alcohol doesn't freeze. However, my kids have done everything from sweet tea to Gatorade to lemonade. They've tried everything to see if it works. It works. Okay, I've got a bunch of recipes with that too. You can make a smoothie mixture and then put it in there. I, tried that with strawberries and bananas, a little bit of almond milk, and a little yogurt. We made popsicles. So then I don't care if my kids have popsicles for breakfast, okay? Because I made them and I know what's in them. So that's a fun thing. And then lastly, ladies, is we have our index. Everything Pampered Chef has to offer is in the index. There are a few things that are not pictured in the main part that are only in the catalog. So if you look, there's a little red diamond. And so the biggest collection that is not pictured in the catalog is our spices and rubs. So we still have those. People ask me all the time. Southwest is a favorite. Italian is a favorite. Corn and garlic is a favorite. They are all back here. But there are a few things that aren't pictured individually in the catalog, but they are back here. So between the cheat sheet I gave you on the back of your wish list and here, you'll be able to find everything. And then we'll talk about the last 2 pages in a little bit. But now that your ADD has kicked in and I need to take a breath, we are going to make a recipe together as a group. So what we're going to do is station 1 is going to get to know my quick cooker. We're going to get some things measured out and ready to go in the quick cooker. Station number 2 is going to be doing our cheeses. So you're going to have 3 different cheeses to grate over here. Station number 3 is going to be over at the stove top. We're going to actually just be cooking up some bacon to then put in the mac and cheese if you want. We'll have it segregated. And then you're also going to be doing some vegetables. So we have some vegetables if you want to mix some veggies into your mac and cheese. I know some people like to put cauliflower in there for skinny things. And then I like broccoli with cheese, so why not add it to mac and cheese and then hide it from your kids or yourself. And so we'll be doing that over here in station 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of rotate around to your different little sections so that you guys, I am there to help you. You can leave your catalog where it is. You don't need that if you are drinking and you want to bring a drink. I totally believe drinking and cooking go together. I do have hand sanitizer at each station, so feel free to use the bathroom down the hall, use the sink here, or the hand sanitizer, depending on if you picked your nose today or not. And then I have all the instructions typed out, ready to go for each station. So if you are the type of person who likes to be bossy and you want to boss the other person around and tell them what to measure and scoop and scrape, you can do that too. So you'd be the first one to rush up here and get this. So it looks like we have a nice even number that we can have 2 people at every station. Just because of where you're sitting doesn't indicate what station you have to go to. I want you to go to the one that you want to play with that product. Okay, and I'll get my dirty bucket out of the way here so it's not in your way. So you guys go ahead and jump up, and then that way you guys can talk to each other and visit too.
Just bacon. Okay.
Bacon, all right. Oh, there, okay. And then I'm gonna take the thing around so they can see.
Okay, well somebody's gonna play with the foot. I guess I'm in more. I got too much. Does anyone need some?
You.
I got a lot. Thank you.
All right, so here is your cheese. I gotta get your Parmesan. And then here is your bacon over here. Thank you. You're welcome. And then, yes.
Do the graders not come with the black cream?
They do. I, however, don't use them a lot. I don't use the holders a lot. I tend to use the cheese block itself and just grate directly with it. The one exception is I do like to use it with Parmesan just because Parmesan sometimes is shaped funky. But also with the fine grater chocolate. To put in there and shave it or something like that you kind of want. It's hard to contain chocolate chips. So that's what I would put chocolate chips in that little holder. All right, so you guys are gonna get started here. I just plugged you in. And then once you guys grate your cheese, just put it right in the bowl. It's okay if it mixes all together. And even though it says 8 ounces, I think the original recipe said a cup, but they didn't indicate the block. We'll put the whole block in there. All right, cheese is one of the 4 C's I don't measure.
Oh, that's right.
Chicken, chocolate, cheese, and calories. We're going to use it all. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. So, and I'm also going to let you guys see what's going over there on cookware.
Cheese.
All right. Use the easy read measuring. Measure 4 cups of water.
I did.
For a second, I was like, I was what'd you say? I said, you shred that cheese.
You go there. And then I'll give you guys an extra cut of shears.
Tiffany, I need to know where you got your cheese holder over here.
My cheese what?
Your cheese holder.
Oh, actually, it's a cream cheese holder that I found online. And so I have 4 of them that I rotate block cheese in.
That's brilliant. So, 4 cup water. 4 cup. 4 cups, not 4 cups, 4 cups.
Oh, did I not pluralize it?
Add to the inner pot of the quick. Shut the 4 cups.
The 4 cups. So with your quick cooker lid, you want to make sure that the inner ring is pushed down because this is removable after each use to wash. So that's why I always check it to make sure that it's pushed down. And then also you want to make sure that this little guy is lined up, the clouds are lined up together, and that this button is flush. So that's going to make sure that we get a good pressurized situation going on in there. Then once it comes to pressure, this red button pops up and it prevents you from unlocking.
Yeah, nice.
Safety wise. So I'll set it, yes.
Look at the stuff I don't know.
So I'll set it right there until you're ready to
Is,
put it on. Okay.
Actually, I put all my bacon on the large bar pan, and then I take my sour cream first and I chop it all up into bacon bits.
After it's cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. But these are great.
Oh, I know.
I could see me cutting myself though.
Yeah, don't cut yourself.
You're right. Yeah. So what about the butter again?
I've already forgotten.
Read
Add
it.
4 tablespoons of butter cut into slices. I'm feeling that's 4 tablespoons. That just means.
Hey, Melanie. She waved back. She's so cute.
He is.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh God, she can hear us. We don't know what we're doing. No, just kidding. All right.
We're trained professionals.
So over here, we're using the kitchen shears, and we cut up some bacon, and then you throw it in the skillet and cook it on medium to high heat.
I'd probably be sitting there blubbering like an idiot.
Just like that. And then, what's next? Add desired veggies to the 2-quart micro cooker with 2 tablespoons of water. Microwave for 3 to 4 minutes until veggies are soft and warm. So we're gonna add veggies to that.
And I'll get those for you. I'll get this out of the way so you can wash your hands and all that
I
fun
would
stuff.
think that's the purpose of like.
Well, that's true because we can each do a recipe night,
Yeah.
and we can each see how.
My recipe night is first chicken nuggets and microwave.
My recipe night is going to be get the cats off the counter.
Yeah.
My 2-year-old screaming in the background.
So if you notice, I put it on the sear function first. Did y'all put it on the sear? Okay, because you're starting to bring that water up to a boil, and it will help you get the pressure going
Okay, I'm
faster.
excited. because I do not have to find my
Yes,
Blue light
I
is
don't
on
understand.
that.
You hit start. Handle this for a second. There you go.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Okay, awesome. All right, so you hit start.
It didn't say
I'm
that.
sorry, I need to type that in. Okay. You guys are my guinea pigs on this recipe tonight.
I love that little trick. Put it on sear to start getting the
Yeah,
water
start getting it
boiling.
warm because you're thinking about it. When you have it on the sear function, it's creating like a boiling.
We need a half cup.
You can just keep going.
So cheat note, you put it on sear first. It gets your liquids hot quicker.
Is that in the book? Or to talk about the steer?
No, it was a trick that we just learned from another consultant. I don't remember who shared it.
Put the
but-
water in there, you said, and with the butter and put
Yeah.
it on steer. Okay.
For any recipe that you throw your liquid in there, put it on sear, that liquid gets hot quicker. And then when you put your lid on, your pressure builds up quicker. And it
That's- that is a great idea.
It cuts down your pressure buildup time.
Okay.
Good to know.
Or
Let's see what we got going on over here. I guess I'll do some work. Let me see.
I never salt and pepper mill right here. Sometimes I measure, sometimes I don't. So I kind of just, we go like this until you want to stop. So that is a completely personal choice. I did measure the salt last time, but at the end it says do salt, please taste. So I figured it helps the water boil.
Wait, no, you're down here, but
Yeah, I was in there. I thought that was a lot of water.
Butter.
add our veggies to the microwave with 2 tablespoons of butter. We need butter. We need some butter. Who's got the butter? Butter. Oh, they ate all the butter. All right, what we got going on over here?
All right, so we just, we're on to that. And so I can kind of feel the water is already a little warm.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all got warm water or not, but I want to make sure the pasta is mostly,
I just got water.
there you go. The water is mostly covered our pasta, so that's good. So hit the cancel button.
Hit cancel. We gotta figure out where that is.
There you go, the eggs. Okay, and so then, oh, you see? All right, so then we're gonna take and put our lid on. Now I kind of can feel it that when I line this part up, like right here on the left of the knob, like that it is on good because of the way it is in the back, and then you turn it. So you hear what it's doing. So we're gonna do a custom set on this. All these are preset. So they're preset for their pressure and their time. We're going to do custom, and it's going to default to 30 in full pressure. And so then we're going to change the time, and we're going to go down to 4 minutes.
What do you have in there right now?
Butter, water, salt, pepper.
Macaroni.
Macaroni. That's it. You guys are done.
Cool.
We're done. Isn't that awesome? Just
Good
double check. to make
job.
sure
We're
I
done
got
and we're still
everything.
cooking bacon. I know.
I love these things. They're so pretty.
All right, well, you guys can help me do that. We're gonna oh, and see, actually, you don't even need to use.
All right. So
Casey,
yeah.
because
Caleb wants you to see him in his Pampered Chef.
I love your apron. Look, Melanie's son's wearing the apron, guys. Oh, nice. That's it, that's Pampered Chef, you guys. So we got broccoli. We got broccoli and 2 tablespoons of butter in the micro cooker. 2 minutes. And it's going to steam. And these ladies are still grating away at the cheese. They have 3 things of cheese to grate.
Let's see if this can will do it.
Oh, the Parmesan smells amazing.
I don't know if this can
Grating
will
it
do
fresh like
Fruit
this, it
cocktail
like
will do it.
smells
Some of these
amazing.
hot pots won't do
You
it
don't
the
have
way
to
that
sell
they're
me on
made.
cheese,
I know.
okay?
So, I'm gonna go around that for-
I'm trying to sell you on a microphone.
I love this.
Oh yeah, you could use that so you don't break a fingernail.
So I like the way how you have it resting on the bowl and the flat motion, and then Laura has it in the TP stance too. So that's pretty cool. Y'all got it in the both different
So
stances.
you don't have to like lay down like this.
Oh, this is here. You know what you do with this piece right here?
Yeah, that's exactly what we
We
do.
do have some extra, so.
Oh my gosh. That's so
You could pour it in there with the rest of the cheese. It's
Oh,
all
God.
good for anything, but we are
3 different
gonna
types of cheeses. We have what? Cheddar cheese,
I
Parmesan
have it
cheese,
typed up for you.
And Colby Jack.
and a Colby Jack cheese.
Let's see if
Let's check on bacon. It's still bacon.
It is so bacon.
And we have evaporated milk. What are y'all doing over here?
We're talking about the warranty on the can opener. It's 3 years.
3 years.
There you go. Got bacon
Girl
going.
Scout honors. And then we have evaporated milk. Was that 1 cup?
Yes.
1 cup.
And they don't sell an 8-ounce can. So this is a 12-ounce can that we measured out the 8 ounces. However, I have made this one time already. You probably could add another 4 ounces and it would be just fine. If you like it really creamy and because we're adding more cheese than it calls for because cheese is one of the 4 C's I don't measure.
Right. All right.
Chocolate, calories, and chicken. I was gonna say cookies, but cookies works too. That kind of falls into the chicken.
Micro cooker is done. Let me check on. What's up?
Yeah, cake, cookies, calories. But I don't think it will. Yeah.
So there's that. I'm gonna actually drain this. Does it need more time? No.
So what will happen is you'll kind of hear it right before it comes to pressure, and we'll make a little bit of a noise, and all of a sudden this will pop up.
It's a great feature.
And that's when you know it's in the pressure. Then after this goes around, this will stop going round and round, and the number.
I took it out of the box and I'm like, all right. All right. So if anybody wants broccoli, we made broccoli just to
Oh, good. So they did some broccoli.
just
and
so we can throw it away.
No, I'm gonna eat broccoli with mine.
Oh yeah, that's right. New year, new us.
Yeah.
You're thinking, I like broccoli.
You're showing them the broccoli.
All right. So that's
All right.
broccoli.
So while we're waiting for our thing to come to pressure and while we're waiting for our bacon to cook up, let me tell you a little bit about what Mia is going to get out of having this all here today. So what did I tell you my favorite 4-letter F word was?
Free.
Free. Okay, so that's what happens. Mia is the last order that we do. And Mia is the last order that we do. And so I'm going to help her decide what to put in her free bucket and what to put in her half price bucket. All right. And so let's just imagine that Mia has $1,000 party. And at $1,000, how much free stuff does she get?
$215.
That's awesome. And how many half price items did she get?
Up to 5.
Up to 5. Okay. And at this point, you can cheat and go along with me. Right on the back of your catalog is a nice little chart right there. So let's just say she has that. So she's going to get $215 in free, and she's going to get up to 5 half price items. So I'm going to help her decide what to put in this bucket and then what to put in this bucket so she gets the best deal possible. Then she's also going to get up to 30% off anything else that her heart desires. So it's a great time to stock up on gifts that you need for the rest of the year. She's also going to earn her PhD, which is called her Pass Post discount. So she has that for 12 months. Erin is our previous PhD holder. So Erin is going to use her PhD tonight and get 10% off her order. Now, every month we have a monthly special. Sometimes it's a collection of things that Pampered Chef decides. Sometimes it's something different. So this month, what Mia is going to get is she gets to pick one of these 5 items that Pampered Chef put together. It's some cookware-like items getting in your cookware and utensils. She gets to pick one of these at 60% off. So that is her monthly special. In addition, she's double dipping this month because it is double free month. So instead of $215, she's going to get how much in free? $430 in free for having a $1,000 show. So she's double dipping with her double free and her 60% off. Now next month is actually our stoneware month. So a hostess can get a piece of stoneware or a set at 60% off. So that large round stone that we were talking about, let's see how much that one is. Our large bar pan would be $14.80 in the month of February for a host. And then I will also tell you, because even though I don't have it printed out right now, is in March, it's our rock crop is going to be 60% off. So that was one we talked about. That was stoneware on steroids. All right, so those are the next 3 months. Yeah, you want to just put it on there? Yeah. So those are the next 3 months worth of specials. So now Mia doesn't have to be sad that those items are on special later. Maybe she wanted one of those because she's going to get what's called the future party pick. At all the parties that book here off of Mia's party, she's going to get a half price item at all of those parties. So that's what Erin gets to get today too, because she's our past hostess. So she gets an item at half and then everything else at 10% off. So it's a great benefit. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And then you also have me as your personal Pampered Chef consultant. Remember, I told you to keep the catalog because you may have a question later on. Feel free to keep me in your cell phone as Pampered Chef Tiffany, because you may forget my name in 6 months, but you'll never forget Pampered Chef. So like if you're in the store and you need to know about how to pick out garlic or how to clean out a pepper, you know, you can text me and I'll answer you. You also can follow me on social media on Foreman's Foodies is my page that you can follow me for more recipes and tips and fun stuff right there. So think about having your own show, because when you do, is everybody awake now? These are all the benefits that you get. And so last I checked, everybody still has a kitchen, right? Nobody's turned it into like a game room or anything. I think for real estate purposes, you shouldn't do that. But, you know, everybody has a kitchen. Everybody has to eat and drink to survive. So that's a great thing about having Pampered Chef parties. We get some people together. We have some fun around the kitchen. You guys are going to be able to socialize. You're going to be able to eat. We get all of the F words together: free, food, fun, and friends. And we get to have a good time. So think about hosting your own show because of the benefits that Mia is going to get as well. And then you get to continue that fun over at your party. Okay. So also for you guys as guests tonight, you're going to get with a $75 order a couple things you get to choose from. You're going to get either the utility knife that we saw here. Its brother is the tomato serrated knife, which I have on the counter here. Right here, that's the serrated knife, or that's the paring. And then, or you get a set of the cutting mats. They come with 3. So I just have the one out tonight, but they're the same 3 colors that you guys see out on the counters: the orange, the blue, and the lime green. It comes in a set of 3, but it's the small set. I love these because I can put them right in the dishwasher. Quick tip though, when you put them in the dishwasher, put them in between plates so then they don't stick together, and then they wash in the dishwasher like that. Nobody likes to be able to, you know, can't get in there and clean that up. So put plates in between them. That's what we do. And then while we're waiting for this to come to pressure, we want to do a little game. How many of you guys like free stuff? Does everybody like free? Okay. So we already gave Mia a prize tonight, so I want to give you guys all an opportunity to get a prize. Let me grab my thing here. And if you feel like you need to sit, please feel free to sit back down, or you can stand right where you are while we're waiting on our stations. But I'm going to give you all a chance to be really, really nosy, and you're going to have the opportunity to get one of these 3 prizes. Okay, so I brought 3 little prizes here. Somebody will walk away with 1, 2, or 3, depending on how nosy you are. So in the back of the catalog, if you do have that in your hands, we're going to open it to the very back spread. And this is where there's a little bit of information about the Pampered Chef opportunity. Now, I know none of you guys came here tonight thinking that I was going to offer you a job, but I would not be doing my job if I didn't share with you what Pampered Chef has done for me and my family for the past 15 years. Now, because I could throw up all over you, I don't want to do that. I want to ask questions that would maybe you really want to know the answer to, or maybe you know someone who is in need of something different in their life, a little bit of extra income, a side gig, something like that. So feel free to ask me any question. The more questions you ask, the more hearts you're going to get. So for every question you ask, you're going to get a heart. So who would like to be the first nosy person? Yes.
How much does it cost to get started?
Great question. So we have 3 different kit options in the back of the catalog. We have the starter kit right here, which is $109. It has $450 worth of product. We have the deluxe kit, which is $159 for $650 in product. And then the really big kit, the ultimate kit, is $249 with $1,000 in products. Now I'm a nerd, so I went through and added all these up, and they do come out to those values. So essentially, these kits are 75% off when you get those.
Can you really make money doing this?
Yes. So some people like to just do it as a side gig. They just want to make a, $100 or $200 a month. I've been doing this for 15 years. Life has changed a lot in 15 years. And now I need to be able to make the mortgage payment if something happened to my husband. So I adjusted my goals such that I make over $2,000 a month with Pampered Chef. Who else has got a question?
How many parties do you have to hold a month?
That's a great question. So when you first start, what Pampered Chef would like you to do is get off to a good start. So they say that they would like you to do $1,250 in sales, which company average, that means 2 or 3 shows. Okay, you leave your house 2 or 3 times, or you do 2 or 3 online parties, and you hit that $1,250 in sales. What magically the commission is on $1,250 is that $249. So you'll make your money back by doing those 2 or 3 shows. So I was kind of a slow starter, so I kind of just started out doing 2 or 3 shows a month, and I was really reactive versus proactive, and I did like 2 or 3 for like the first couple years until things changed. Kids came along, diapers came along, a bigger mortgage came along, and I didn't want to work more for the man. I wanted to make my own money. So you can always change how many shows you do. It's totally up to you. Yes.
What are the benefits to joining?
For me personally, when I first got into business, it was for that large round stone and that chopper. That's really what I wanted. And I wanted to make a car payment. The little car that's sitting out on the curb, I wanted to pay for that car payment. Like I said, life has changed. And so doing the 2 or 3 shows, I could make that car payment. So that's the initial thing, is you get the kit, you get all the products. Some of the things that have happened since then is I've earned vacations with Pampered Chef, I've earned jewelry, extra incentives, of course the cash. I've made some great friendships, and I've got a lot of great products in my kitchen.
What's your favorite Pampered Chef tool?
So what I hear you saying is like, since that doesn't have to do with the business side of thing, I will rephrase that for you. That if my house was burning down, I would grab my new consultant kit, because it is already packed and ready to go, and it has a little bit of everything in it. So it's really hard to pick a favorite product, because it's like my children. Someday I like one better than the other, and it just really depends.
Do you have to have inventory?
That's a good question too. No, we do not carry inventory. So all of the product comes directly from our home office outside Illinois, and is directly shipped to all of you guys directly to your door. So side note, I'm on a different program than all of you guys, so I will say this as if y'all were the consultants. Everything's gonna come here to Mia. She's gonna bag and tag it, and then get back with you to do it. So maybe you wanna meet her up for a glass of wine or a cup of coffee, and then exchange your stuff like that too. So that's a good thing. Or you can have it directly shipped. So if there's somebody who's not here tonight, or like your cousin who lives in Montana wants to order, we can have it directly shipped to her.
What kind of vacations do you earn?
Oh, that's a fabulous question. So when I first started Pampered Chef, I had no clue that there were vacations. And once the year I had my daughter, I realized December of that year that I was this close to earning my very first trip, and now I stay on top of it. We have earned 10 vacations with Pampered Chef. We have been to Punta Cana, Cabo, Toronto, San Francisco, San Diego, Disney World, Disneyland, Austin, Riviera Maya, and I'm always forgetting one. And then we've already earned the trip to Hawaii. That was, you earned it in 18 to take in 19, and just now we started earning the trip to Disney. So every 5 years, Disney comes around, my kids know that. And so now they are really eager to help me wash dishes in 19 so they can travel to Disney in 20.
That's cool.
All right, so who else has got a question? Don't be shy. Yes.
How many hours a week do you put into it?
That's a good question too. So when I first started, it was, I'm a math nerd. So I would take my total check and I would divide it by number of shows, and then I would divide by 5 hours. I wasn't very efficient on the show side of things. Now as time has gone by, I'm very efficient. I make like 20 hose packets watching Netflix, okay? Because I'm gonna watch Netflix anyway. And so we'll dust it for just a second. And I go ahead and do that. So now, because I coach a team, I do divide that by 9 hours a show. So I typically, right now, I'm working 3 days a week. and I work for about 4 hours a day on those 3 days. And whether I'm doing host coaching with my hostess or coaching with my team or making host packets or running things to the post office or maybe picking up things at the grocery store, that's about my time frame. Unless you got a question.
Do you, how much do you pay in postage to send all your stuff out?
I really try to hand out host packets at the parties so that I'm not mailing them. So hopefully those of you tonight who are thinking about booking your own shows, I will be able to hand you a host packet right there. So really eliminate the need for postage. So that's how I've learned to get around that. But of course, if there's somebody who doesn't live here or they book later, I will do my best. I just mail that through priority mail.
How do you get hostess to book at a party?
Usually, statistically, 2 bookings per show. There's usually 2 people in the audience thinking about it, and an average show of about 10 people. So now my personal goal is if I didn't get 2 bookings at the show, that I need to go home and get 2, because I always want to have one party to replace the one I just did and then one to grow, because this is my full-time career. So if I don't work, I don't get paid. So, but when I first started, it was like, oh, you want to have a party? Okay, let's do a party.
Are you sure?
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, we'll have your party. And then I wait and I'm like, oh, I have no more parties. I should do something. So now I'm a little bit more proactive on that end, but it took me a while to learn that. And I do teach my new consultants that aspect when they come on.
Do you have meetings with your people on your team?
That's a great question. So we do have a monthly meeting. It's at my house. I live right off the interstate. So it makes it really easy for everybody to come to me. And we do a monthly team meeting. It's not every week that you have to be there, just once a month. We do have other virtual options too that we do try to touch. Like I try to have training opportunities available for everybody on a weekly basis. And then we also have a national conference that we go to, and we have regional retreats too that are optional. So we have lots of training opportunities. YouTube is a really good training option too.
I'm not a good cook. I don't know if I can do this. Is there training?
Yes. So when I started, I was a 2-ingredient cook, bread and cheese. Okay, we're talking a grilled cheese. That was max. And if I burnt the one side, I'd flip it over and serve it to my husband. Okay. So Pampered Chef does teach you. Did I cook tonight?
No.
No, you guys cooked, didn't you? So no, you don't have to know how to cook.
Okay.
So that's really great. But I have become more confident in the kitchen because of what I've learned through Pampered Chef and other consultants. So I'm trying to help my children like come along in that. My mom's a great cook, but she didn't teach me those things. So that's why I'm trying to make sure. My husband's a much better cook than I am. But between like the team meetings that I went to as a young consultant, what we have on YouTube now, and just the training Pampered Chef gives us every time new products come out, it's great.
How much money do you make a show?
Really, on average, an average show is about $500, and the beginning commission is 20%. Easy math, 500 times 20% is $100. My husband likes that I can go out for a couple hours at night, no pulls, no corners. I don't come home covered in glitter, and I made $100. Now time has changed, right? I make a little bit more per show because I am cultivating a team and training them. So usually I'm about $250 a night. $250 a show is what I usually make per show. So, but the average consultant, that's the number that I use, $100 per show. So that's what we usually use to gauge people's goals and how much they'd like to make from there. So while you guys have the hearts, hold on for those for a second. We're gonna hit cancel on the pasta here, and we're gonna get everything stirred in. So I hit the cancel button, and I'm gonna release the steam, so it's gonna come towards you guys. All right, so that's the steam, and obviously right now, while it's on the island, it's not underneath anybody's cabinets, but a lot of people store it like underneath the cabinet, especially while it's cooking. So that is really nice that you can take the handles and pull it out and rotate it so that it doesn't get moisture up on your cabinet. So that's really nice. And this doesn't take too long to release the pressure. Occasionally, if the higher it's filled, you might have some stuff that scoots out right there. And then the more liquid that's in here, the longer it takes to come to pressure. So if you're doing like a full thing of soup, it's going to take longer to, like, think about it coming to a boil. It's going to take longer because this only had 4 cups. It didn't take a super long time. And then we actually let it go 2 minutes over in the warming setting. It automatically goes to a warming setting after it hits the cook time. All right, so you saw the little red guy go down. That means we can open it. I just by habit push that back so I'm ready for the next time. Turn it and open it. All right, look, it was beautiful. The pasta was kind of boiled up. Let's put this right there for now. All right, so we have our pasta, and you kind of can stir it until that it is nice and soft. No, so the moisture was mostly absorbed into the pasta. If you felt like it was al dente, you could put it on the sear function again to let it cook. All right, so I'm going to add in our evaporated milk. We're gonna add in all this cheese.
Wow.
All right. All right, so that's
New Year.
a block
back to
of
the old
cheddar,
year.
almost a full block of Colby Jack, and then some Parmesan because we love cheese, right? So, you know, you have some options. Like I said, tonight we have bacon and broccoli to add to your mac and cheese, which is really yummy. But you're just gonna kind of keep stirring this as it all gets mixed in together. And I'm actually gonna make sure it's off the warm setting so that it doesn't, we don't need it to keep warming, but it's gonna stay warm in the pot anyway. What's really nice is this pot can come out and it is dishwasher safe. So after I'm done, I will rinse it pretty good and then I'll put it in the dishwasher to clean it all up, which is really nice. All right, so you guys can kind of see that it's not gonna be like super duper yellow like craft with the yes, with all that. So it's just, but it's gonna definitely be creamy. Okay.
We made risotto the other night, and because I have 2 pots, as soon as the risotto was done, I took that out. Chicken salsa was ready to go. Put it in, cooked it, done. Meal
Perfect.
Prep. Meal prep
That's
for
a
the
great
week.
idea.
That's a good idea.
To have just another pot. Yeah. All right, so we'll let that sit for a minute. So while you guys all have the
I order
hearts.
another seal ring too.
I never even think about that.
Yeah.
So while you guys all have the hearts, and so I'm gonna show you guys how you're gonna get some prizes now. So when I call your heart, you're gonna let me know, wave, and I'm gonna let you decide if you want to have the white one, the minty one, or the pink one. Okay. So who has the 6? Pink. All right, pink is for you. Who has the 8?
Oh, me.
Which color?
Teal.
Teal. All right, who's got the ace? All right, you're gonna have the white one. Who's got the king? All right, you're gonna seal the pink or the teal.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, who's got the 5? Pink. All right, we're there. Who's got the 9?
Me.
All right, seal. Teal. Who's got the 7?
White.
White. Who's got the 3? All right, seal.
Teal.
Teal. Who's got the 4?
Sorry.
Pink. Who's got the jack?
Oh, white.
White. Who's got the queen?
Pink.
Who's got the 10?
Me.
Seal.
I mean, it's just so.
And last but not least, who's got the 2?
That's me.
All right, Seal, you get to pick of the letter.
White.
Okay. So I'm out of cards. So if you'll pass your hearts back to me, those of you who have the prizes, you may open them. So somebody open one of them just so that we can show everybody what's inside them.
I feel like Sleeping Beauty. Pink. No blue. No blue. Alice in Wonderland too, right? Oh, my dress. Yeah. Alice.
So I just buy like these dollar store bags with some tissue paper, and it has a recruiting brochure, a little small product, and then if I have like a recipe card, I'll throw a recipe card in there. Okay, so that's what I do. And so like I always bring 3, and I always play the same game. So even like the people who have played before, they will help get it going because they know what's coming. So, and if somebody wins 2, like Stacey did, she can take 2. Now she may say, oh, here, you can have 1. Because she feels guilty taking 2. Or she may open 2 and say, well, I already have this, here, take the other one. All right, so that's how I do stealing hearts. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hit stop on the recording.